Scavengers is a 1 versus 1 tower defense game. The game is divided into 4 turns and an end phase. In the end phase, units will spawn from the base and move along the path. The goal of the game is to take away your opponent's life. Player 1's attributes are shown at the top, player 2 is shown at the bottom. During the first turn, the first player will place his troops. So he can buy troopers, spending his valor, and troopers get added to his reserve. He can also buy attacks and moves. The game is very similar to Risk. So, in the game, you place your troopers on any owned supply points. Since this is player 1 turn, it's red, so he can place it on the 1 supply zone he owns. Now he has 2 moves and 2 attacks. But during the troop replacement phase, he can't do anything but place his troops. When he's done, he presses end turn. Then player 2 goes. He also buys troopers and an attack and some moves. And he places his troopers on his point. Then he ends his turn. Now, player 1 can place his towers and buy units and attack different areas. So he's going to attack with 12 of his men, and he's going to attack over here. So he lost 3 of his men while approaching, and now he has taken over this supply point, and he's got 1 attack left. And you want to collect these to build up supplies, and you use supplies to build towers. And these are the different towers you can build over here, and you can build them when you click on your building zone on the right turn. So we've got blast cannons for critical hits, corrosive arrows that do reduced healing, and all sorts of other effects on these towers. So I'm going to build a blast cannon, a corrosive arrow tower, and a grease fire tower. And when you click on a tower, it shows you what effects it has. And as you upgrade the tower's range, it gains the effects of other towers' abilities within its range. So the blast cannon is a double damage cannon, but it's also next to a corrosive arrows tower, so it gains a reduced healing ability, and it's also near a poison tower, so it's gaining poison damage, and it's near a fire tower, so it's gaining fire damage per second. So I'm going to upgrade its range, I'm going to upgrade its ability, so now its double damage chance is increasing. I'm going to upgrade its base damage, I'm going to upgrade the research. This is how much research it generates every time it hits an enemy player or a unit creep. And cooldown is how often it attacks. And the reason you want to upgrade that is because you spend research on upgrading your creeps, which I'm about to do in a minute once I'm finished upgrading my towers. Now, as I upgrade the ability of this corrosive arrow tower, the towers that are in range of it also gain that bonus effect. So I can't upgrade anything anymore because I'm out of supplies for player 1. So finally, before I end my turn, I'm going to unlock and add my first battalion, and this is costing me research. So these are the different units that you can buy, and you can have eventually all of them if the game lasts long enough, but that'd be pretty hard. And the way these work is each of them has a special ability. So I'm going to go first with the siege tank, and that special ability is it increases unit armor. So I bought the siege tank. So here's its base abilities. It's got 100 health, 3 armor, 3 honor. Its ability level is 1, and it has a size of 1. So that means it has 100 health before it dies. It takes 3% reduced damage from physical attacks, and it generates 3 honor per second. Honor is converted into valor. Its ability level is 1, which means it's giving a very small armor bonus to all units. and its size is 1, which means only one unit is going to spawn. I'm going to increase the health, so now its health is 250. I'm going to increase the armor. I'm going to increase its ability power, so it's giving a lot more armor now. I'm going to increase its honor, so it's going to gain a lot more valor each round, and I'm going to increase the squad size. And then that's all I can do for now. And you use valor to buy more troopers and more moves in this area. So the way it works is it's a 3 economy system. You take over supply points to gain supplies. You spend supplies on towers. Your towers generate research to buy units. And your units generate honor the longer they live, which gets turned into valor, which you can spend on buying more troopers for the middle. And the goal, of course, is to make your unit army strong enough to reach the end of your opponent's base and take away their life. So this player's turn is done, and now I'm going to do the same thing for player 2, but I'm going to go very fast. So I'm also going to attack, taking over that point, and I'm also going to attack. I can't attack anymore because I'm out of attacks, but I'm going to use a move, because I'm going to split my troops in half. I'm going to move my troops back over there. Now I'm going to buy some different towers over here. Because he bought armor, I'm going to buy a penetrator tower, which is this one here, because that reduces armor. And I'm also going to buy a sludge flinger, which is going to amplify damage. So I'm just upgrading some of its stats here. And now I'm going to upgrade his units. Because player 1 got corrosive arrows, that'll kind of counter medics because their whole thing is healing over time. So instead I'm going to go for gear greasers. And gear greasers move really fast. That's what their ability is. They increase unit speed. So I'm going to buy a couple of those, and I'm going to make them go as fast as possible. So gear greasers are about fast speed. So now both players have gone. They've spent their moves. They've spent their resources, and now, during the end phase, units are going to spawn. So as you can see, the units are coming out. These are the health bars on the units over here, and I'm just going to speed it up here. So the units fall along the path, and here we go. So now, player 1 has lost life because one of the troops got through, and player 2 has lost 2 life. And now it's back to player 1 to spend. So during that round, player 1 generated valor and from the honor of his troops, and he's got 1319, and he can buy more troops and attacks and so forth. And he had 2 points, so he ends up with 500 more supplies. Now the game continues like this, and really it's all about synergy. You're trying to create synergy between your towers, and you're trying to create synergy between your units, because all of the units that spawn, all of their effects add on to each other. So if you've got increased armor units with increased speed units, well then you've got heavily armored units that are moving faster. So to counter that, you'll want to get some slow towers, and you'll want to get some armor penetration. So the game is really about balancing your attack forces and your defense forces to create the most synergy to live and the most synergy to destroy your opponent's units. And the game continues like this until one player is defeated. And for this version of the game, it is turn-based 1 versus 1 hot seat, but eventually this will be turned into a real-time strategy game, so that this could be an online multiplayer versus tower defense. So that is Scavengers, and I hope you enjoyed it.